Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Knauer and welcome to Carrie's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making popovers. Popovers are made from a batter that's very similar to a crepe. It's very light and airy, but whereas you cook crepes flat on a griddle, popovers you can put in a muffin tin, and then the heat and the steam that's built up from them makes them rise up very fast over to the edge of the muffin tin, and that's why it's called a popover. We're going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese and some fresh chives to it to give it a nice savory flavor. Are you ready to cook? Okay, so we're going to make our batter in the blender, which is going to be really nice and fast and make it easy to pour for when that time comes. So we're going to start with our eggs, which I've been letting get to room temperature. It's going to help them rise. Next, we're going to add the 1½ cups of whole milk. And this is a scant 1½ cups of flour. Scant means that you don't want to pack it down at all. And this is our 1/4 cup of melted butter. Make sure your lid is on firm. I'm going to put it on high and go for what my blender calls smoothie option, which is about 2 away from the top. Okay, so now we're just going to let it rest for 15 minutes. It's going to let some of the air settle down. We want it to form its air naturally later. And we're going to preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Okay, so we're going to grease the tin before we put it in the oven. And I'm just going to be using regular old Crisco vegetable shortening. And I like to just put the sandwich baggie on my hand and use that directly. Now we want to be very good about this because it's going to make a big difference to get the popovers out once they're done. And you want to get the top, the surface as well, because they're going to spill over on the top. All right, so we're going to put this in the oven for 2 minutes, so get a little bit preheated, and then we're going to pull it back out and fill it with the batter. All right, so we have our hot pan. I have to remember that. Batter has been resting. I'm going to try to fill these 2/3 of the way filled. All right, and then I finely grated some Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put a pinch on top. Hopefully the cheese is grated fine enough that the batter, once it starts to rise, will rise up right over it and it'll be sort of like cheese in the center. And then finally our chives. All right, time to go in the oven. Okay, so the oven is at 450 right now. We're going to let that go for 10 minutes. And then we're going to adjust the temperature and lower it. Great. right, well now you can see why they're called popovers. They popped over the top of the muffin tin, and they have a nice crusty shell. I'm gonna get a knife and we're gonna pierce them to let the final steam come out. And then we're gonna give them 5 minutes to sit in here, and then we can flip them out completely onto the wire rack to cool. All right. And there we have it, a Parmesan chive popover.